Alright, so this is a podcast.
The voices! Oh, wait, we're recording.
The voices are everywhere. That's how I feel sometimes when I listen to podcasts. It's like I'm hanging out with my 3 best friends. I can't talk to them.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Or like being at work, it's like you get off the phone, it's like, it's silence. Oh, God. Oh, I did take my meds. Okay, we're good.
It's weird because we'll be answering the phone at work and you'll talk to people over the phone and it's like, oh, I'm supposed to speak. I'm not used to this. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that I have the opposite problem. I spend so much time on the phone that when somebody actually walks up to speak with me, I have this weird thing where like if something's not pressed against the side of my face, sound does not want to come out of my mouth. So they'll walk up and they'll be like, hello.
Yeah, I'll get neurotic with it where someone will come into the restaurant and I'll go, oh, thank you for calling China Garden.
No, I've done that. I've answered my own phone with thank you for calling China Garden.
Yeah.
Last night a guy came in asking about placing an order for a renewal party. Mm-hmm. We were right in the middle of a rush, and I was still in auctioneer phone mode.
Yeah.
So I was like, something to the effect of, well, I think we can do the large plates, but if you come back in about 2 hours when we're not so busy, I can probably help you out. What kind of things are you looking for? If you take this menu right here, you can look and see if you can tell us what you want. Yeah. And he kind of goes, I'll just come back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll answer.
I love you, come back.
Thank you for calling China Garden. Will those people pick up a delivery? And they go,
huh?
What? Food.
Yeah. Or when they ask the wing flavors. Anyways.
All right, so I guess we should introduce things. We're not sure of a name for this yet. I'm Nick.
I'm Ryan. Whatever.
Ryan of Tarth.
The soulless one.
Yes. It is I, the glib one, and the sardonic one, and we're here to tell you about the world.
Sit yourself down, I'm going to learn you something.
So basically, how deep should we go in terms of like a backstory for this?
I mean, the backstory is I was sitting at home watching a par, not subpar, comedy special, and I get a text of, hey, you want to do a podcast? And I was like, I got nothing else going on. Here we are.
Podcasting's thick in the blood right now. I'm just thinking about tennis, and like all the podcasts are coming back from their like holiday breaks. Mm-hmm. So it's like, all right,
a lot of new stuff finally coming back, yeah. And this has been this makes a year now. I've had a year cycle where I had a podcast last year, and then my co-host moved away. Right. Thank you for turning the sound off on that. Mm-hmm. And then a year later, I'm like, hey, look, let's do a podcast again.
Yeah.
Care to join us?
What?
How's it going?
I'm late for work.
It emerges.
What time were you supposed to be awake? I'm curious.
10 minutes. Well, no, I was supposed to leave 10 minutes ago.
Oh.
All right. Is it 2?
Yeah. Almost.
Oh, you're going to be late.
Yeah.
Drive safe. You want to take my bike?
What?
Go. You're wasting time.
Andale.
It's like me groggily leaving for the morning shift.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Where are you? It's only been...
I'm almost there. Just leave me alone.
All right. So yeah, back in the podcast mode.
Yeah, woo.
Basically, this is... I don't know. I don't know what this will turn into.
Yeah, I have no earthly idea.
It's going to be fun. I basically just texted Ryan, hey, podcast.
I was like, I got nothing else to do.
Podcast stuff, you know.
Exactly. I'll put on a shirt in case I got to go to work afterwards, and that's about it. That's my game plan today.
No, yeah. No, sometimes I put on shirts, sometimes I don't.
Sometimes. Just go in just bare-chested, just pale and sad. Just
actually, we're recording this podcast butt-ass naked.
Well, he is. There's no we in this unless he's got something in some pocket.
I say we in the Golem sense.
Okay.
We are recording butt-ass naked.
There runs the hero voices, precious.
Speaking of the cult of Tanis, you guys should go. I hate doing this. I hate being like, so I'm listening to this.
We are both listening to the Tanis podcast. He is about a full season ahead of me.
We're about 2 years late on this.
Yeah, no, it's a fantastic podcast.
It's just
a little bit old. No, I haven't yet. It's on my list.
Keeps coming up.
I don't deliver as much as you do, so I don't spend as much time listening.
Yeah, I like delivering a lot.
And when I go home, I pretty much stick exclusively to YouTube. So.
Okay. Yeah, I'll sit quietly on the couch staring at the wall listening to a podcast.
Yeah, no, if I do that, my wife walks in and goes, "What's the matter?" And I'm just like, I'm listening to things. She's like, and she just gives me this look of, like, I support you, but that's weird.
Yeah, it's like, why are you sighing so much? I'm just breathing. Jesus.
It's air.
I'm just breathing.
Disclaimer, I vape. I do it a lot. It's going to be on the podcast. Get used to it.
I wish I was ballsy enough to smoke in my apartment.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't get your sage deposit back.
Yeah, you would just hear... That's my favorite part of like the Kevin Smith podcast.
You can just hear him light up.
Yeah, he has like a fucking like obnoxious
Zippo that he flips open.
Yeah, and you hear clink.
See, honestly, I just want one podcast where they don't address it, and you just hear a guy with like a butane torch, and you hear bubbling, but they never say anything about it. And he's just like, welcome to the podcast, guys.
Ooh.
Mama can't breathe, get me a Chesterfield.
You hear like a zipper, and then like a leather pouch opening, and you hear like someone's flicking like a needle, and like a spoon comes out, and there's a torch.
There's some noise of a rubber band being tied around their arm.
Yeah, no, like some powder just...
But it's never addressed once.
Yeah, no, it's an experience. It's the ambiance.
Exactly, it's asthma. Asthma for those who are curious about drugs but don't want to really try them.
Yeah, it's yeah. Yeah, the binaural like headphones in. They're just like, ooh.
It's like I'm really there.
I'm so high.
It's so wow.
Someone walks into their apartment. Hello. Hi.
Hi, how are you? No, it's how high are you?
Yeah, so Ryan and I both work at a Chinese takeout place. I don't know how specific we want to get with that.
Well, we did say the name of it already.
That's true. Thank you for calling China Garden.
And for those of you, if we do upload the video, here you go. For those of you listening, I just showed off the logo on my shirt. I'm not sure exactly what medium this will take place over.
No, Ryan's prepped for work right now. He's just ready to go to work.
Yeah, because I didn't know how long this was going to take.
I, on the other hand, am wearing a free t-shirt I got from a concert.
Like you do.
And, other than the nakedness, of course.
What does it say?
Great question.
Because it looks like it says Merlot.
Merlot? Oh, I appreciate that.
Temple?
It says, it's pretty close. It's Time Pilot. So what we have here is we got the T.
Okay, I see
We got the I, the M, the E, the P, the I.
You know what helps
the O,
in making things legible?
Not doing this.
Spaces.
Spaces. Especially for 2 words.
I mean, it's a great logo, but if somebody wants to know what it says, they're just like, is your name Cleon Top?
Yeah, no, I mean...
Speechlessness is not a good thing on a podcast, Nick.
It's called a pregnant pause, alright?
Pregnant, huh?
Pregnant pause.
You are naked.
You just... Listen
to that refrigerator.
And they check their phones, and then we're back.
No, to that baby purr.
Ideally, this will end up on iTunes and also SoundCloud and also YouTube.
Okay.
See how that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll actually have something in the background other than an empty apartment.
No, I do, for this one podcast, I do want to say that I do have a topic.
Okay. I was hoping, because if we're just going to sit here and dick around, then fuck it, let's go.
Yeah.
But I did have something that I was saving for the podcast that I would like to bring up.
All right, we will bring that up in a second.
Okay.
All right, so first I want to get this done like immediately, just so we're covered.
Down to brass tacks.
Yeah, I opened my notes on my computer, and the last note I made was at 2 a.m., and it said...
None of this surprises me.
Well, it said, want to go smoke, so I assumed the music was too loud somewhere, and I needed to get it across to someone...
Sitting next to you.
Right, that I needed to be outside.
But so, you're too awkward to just lean over to them and say, I'd like to go out and smoke?
I think it was the Jimi Hendrix cover band in the background that was really drowning out any kind of conversation.
Gotcha.
No, I remember that. I had a little beer spilled on me. Anyway, topic of discussion is name for the podcast. Good idea.
That's it, folks. It's just going to be silence and us randomly throwing out random names like, Beneficial Carrot or some shit like that.
No, I like the idea of silence. Silence is good.
The silent podcast?
No, not the silent podcast.
Or just silence? It's interesting, although I with the idea of the name Silent Podcast, I just have this image of, unless you're watching it, all you hear is old-time ragtime music.
It's like
you have to watch the video.
Vaudeville.
Exactly, you have to see the video version of it to get anything out of it, because we throw up like the cue cards and shit. Like, oh no, not my piano.
So it's basically Subterranean Homesick Blues, where he's just like changing the cards.
Yeah, no, it's Bob Dylan straight up, just
Oh god, that would be.
Look how angsty I
am. So we have Silence.
Okay.
The podcast. I also Xanadu, but that's for a mockumentary series coming in 2020. Let's really space things out here.
No, see, we have to be careful because with the new administration, some podcast topics will inevitably be illegal.
It'll be hard.
Exactly.
Hard.
So.
Which is why we're on the other side of the wall right now.
And now it's a Trump podcast.
Actually, in Tijuana.
We are here hiding. We had to move about an hour ago. Trump's forces were closing in on us.
The Trump troopers are they're at the door.
The troopers.
You can hear
their chants of keeping America great again, even though we're in Venezuela.
Their boots are very loud. They have the steel toes, and they're like the cowboy variety.
The boots of Jack.
The Jack of boots. I'm more of a Jack of all boots, honestly.
Jack of all boots, sneaker of none.
Okay, so we have silence as an idea. We also, the previous podcast I had was Substitute.
Substitute?
Yeah, Substitute FM. I do want to work FM into the name of the podcast.
Okay.
Because I like the word FM in radio. And
anyways,
I have ideas, Ryan, damn it.
A repeating theme is going to be Nick going off on a tangent and me just kind of giving him a blank look of, uh-huh.
Every podcast has that guy.
Uh-huh. Yeah, no, you are that guy.
Yeah, I'm your catnip.
You are mere catnip. You're just going to randomly hang up Skype.
Yeah, I hate that they leave the Skype thing in there. I didn't notice Skype.
She gets on my nerves, but that's another thing.
I think she's hot.
That aside, she gets on my nerves. Anyways.
No, she's great. I think her and Nick are going to have it. Anyway, let's get out. We're really behind the scenes right now in terms of our separate Tannis podcast that we're going to do.
Yeah, no, there's a year...
Tannis discussion.
There's a year of listening between the two of us.
Right. Okay, so we have silence. Just throw anything out there?
I got... Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, my last one was the Ginger Queer Podcast. I mean, you're not gay, so that doesn't work.
Yeah, it's kind of harder. Ryan is a ginger, by the way. I think we need to
like I said, the soul... Hey, that's our word, motherfucker.
For the audience and for Trump's databases, we need to preface that...
Damn it! It was such a well-kept secret.
Fuck! They're going to identify me. I was going to make an Iron Man joke.
Don't wake up the roommates?
I like that one. That one sounds like sex, though. Don't wake up the roommates. Sounds like hit new R&B track.
Somebody browsing through iTunes going, I wonder what I'll listen to, sees point. Don't Wake Up the Roommates. They're intrigued.
Don't Wake Up the Roommates. That one was significantly longer than the other ones. Don't Wake Up the Roommates. Vapatine.
Vapatine?
Vapatine.
Okay, I see where the vapor comes from, but with the teen?
The vapatine is the nicotine part.
Okay.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, no. That doesn't exactly work. If you have suggestions, call us now, even though this will be put up after it's live.
You can reach us at, the number is 786-479. Let's give out Nick Silver's.
You can reach us at the following phone number. Just call your operator, say that, and she will hang up.
Call your operator and...
Find an operator, call them.
She'll ask, how can she connect you? And you reply...
That's your job, ma'am.
Which is apparently how you order Chinese food.
It's a very popular dish.
You go...
China FM?
China FM isn't bad.
Wings FM or something like that?
谢谢. Ni hao. Welcome to our Chinese podcast.
Chinese American slavery? Wait, that's dark.
Oh, no.
That's brutal.
China.
And plus, if we tell too many people, we won't get paid in our sugar cubes anymore.
Oh, no. I love those.
Our only substance.
They keep me alive. So we have China FM. Apoplectic.
Appalachian Mountains.
Apocalypse.
No, it's Acopulips.
Acopulips.
The Acopulips FM.
We are Acopulips FM. We need to have something that's easy to spell.
If we actually had that in there and we mentioned it to Emoy, she would lose her frickin' mind.
We can mention anything to the kids at work and they will.
Yeah, but anything that comes from something that they said will give them an even more inflated sense of self-importance. And we gotta destroy that.
They have a lot of...
They're children, they still have to learn.
Let them have a little bit of hope.
Nah.
Silence, Substitute FM, Don't Wake Up the Roommates, China FM. Prisoners. Chinese prisoners.
He's looking at posters on the wall to try and get an idea.
Good fellas.
We are not.
Alright.
We're bad at being fellas.
All right, Stephen King?
Welcome to Stephen King, not the Stephen King podcast. Just this podcast name is Stephen King.
You know, I kind of love that. Thank you
now, be careful because we might end up with a whole Lawnmower Man situation type of deal going on here.
Lawnmower Man?
Okay, do I have permission to branch away from the podcast naming to tell a story? Okay.
This is a conversational podcast.
Hey, you said wherever. I said I wanted to talk about something on podcast, and you said we'll get to that in a minute.
We will. I was hoping we would have more of like a forthright name attitude here.
How be ever.
Which
I stole from another podcast.
As it may, however, be such.
New Line Cinema had the rights to a Stephen King short story called The Lawnmower Man, which is in the collection of short stories Night Shift, and it's all about this guy who tries to mow his lawn in the summer. It's like the first time he's got to mow it, and his lawnmower is broken, so he calls a landscaping service, and they send this guy over who operates the the guy's sitting on the porch watching the guy mow, and he's just drinking a beer. He falls asleep, and he wakes up, and he sees the lawnmower is running by itself, and apparently the guy is like operating with his mind or some shit, and if this was a normal story, that'd be the weird part, but it's Stephen King, so stick with me for a minute. Turns out this guy is buck-ass naked, on all fours, crawling behind the lawnmower, eating the lawn clippings, and there's a scene where like a gopher pokes his head up, and then the lawnmower veers off and kills the gopher, and then the guy goes up behind him and eats the gopher. And at this point, the guy drinking the beer thinks that's weird, passes out, wakes up, guy's over him, staring at him with juice dripping down his chin, like, hey buddy, you alright? And the guy's like, no, not really, this is fucking weird, no, and he runs away from him, but he's drunk, and he trips and he falls, and he gets killed by the lawnmower, and that's about the end of the story.
This is delightful.
Yeah, no, I go on these little rants. But anyways.
It's just delightful.
Hello.
Hey.
You're here for the best part. So anyways, New Line Cinema had the rights for that story, which in and of itself would make an interesting, if not weird, movie. But they also had this script called, I think it was Cyber God or some shit like that, where, have you ever seen the movie Lawnmower Man?
No.
It's a very Flowers for Algernon type of deal.
Okay.
There's this this town simpleton named Job, who is like the town handyman. Everybody takes advantage of him, and then Pierce Brosnan comes in as a scientist. You can tell because he's wearing glasses.
Right. And he's Pierce
with an earring. Yeah, his name's Larry, which is a weird Pierce Brosnan name.
Dr. Larry.
They don't say Doctor anything. His name is just Larry.
Doctor was my first name. Call me Michael.
Call me Larry. Doctor is my father.
Michael Larry.
But anyways, so he performs this experimental treatment on Job, and it involves a lot of virtual reality type of deals, and it's very bad 90s CG. But anyways, it's just an awful movie. Watch the How Did This Get Made podcast, or listen to it about Lawnmower Man, and they will go way in depth about all this. But so they made Cyber God, but they called it Lawnmower Man, right? And so Stephen King he finds out about this, and he goes, no, I don't want my name attached to this at all, because when they put the box art out, it said Stephen King's The Lawnmower Man. And so he sued New Line, and it was like, you got to take this off, and New Line was like, no. Yeah,
you can't get away with that anymore.
And so, New Line was like, no, seriously, you need to take that off. And they're like, no, we're not going to do it. And they said, well, how about this? Every day you don't take it off, we're going to sue you for an additional $10,000. And New Line went, okay, maybe. So for the trailers and the posters and everything, they took everything off. But when they released it on DVD, it says Stephen King's The Lawnmower Man.
Oh no, poor Steve.
That long-winded explanation being, we got to be careful because Stephen King might sue us if this podcast is something he doesn't like.
All right,
assuming he hears it.
Cormac McCarthy.
Is he still alive?
You know, I'd like to think so. I'm not sure.
Maybe he was in a horrific car accident on the road.
Anton Chigurh got him. Cattle prod. After that.
Deep road joke there.
Teletheory. Wait, I like that one.
What?
Teletheory.
Teletheory. Well, I was going to ask her if she had any ideas.
Got any ideas?
About what?
Podcast name. Give her the ones we have so far.
What are you doing?
A podcast.
Okay. I mean...
There's no general topic.
It's a conversational podcast.
Dicking around.
Is it just you two?
It is.
For now.
We'll see. If you want to jump in here, it's awesome. Welcome.
We could have an accidental guest.
Yeah. I would have rooked Ashley into it, but she scooted away.
She's a slippery one. Okay, we'll give her the options that we have and see if anything jumps out.
So far we have silence.
No.
I don't know. There's been a lot of it so far.
Oh, pregnant pauses.
Pregnant pauses.
Substitute FM. My old one. Just pick up the mantle. Don't wake up the roommates, which was his suggestion.
Because I think we woke up Ashley, which actually was a good thing because she overslept.
She did. Also, it sounds like boning, so I don't know how I feel about it.
I presented a compelling case for it earlier.
It's fair. I do think it's fair.
It was well thought out, worthy of Thurgood Marshall.
Alright, next one is China FM, which I do like. I feel like we would be subject to censors.
Only if we release it in China.
Yeah. And then...
We'll be that big.
Something I just wrote on here, the Lawnmower Men.
Didn't he just have a long
No. It was not why we shouldn't call it Lawnmower Man. It was why we shouldn't call it Stephen King.
Oh, yeah. I also said Stephen King, the podcast.
No, not Stephen King, the podcast.
It was just Stephen King.
See, that's really misleading, because if I saw Stephen King, I'd be like, oh, it's
But
Stephen
it
King.
brings them in.
I would say...
But then
they come for
Steve.
Steve.
So I would never listen to it. Because
Yeah, but we get that one listen. We get a lot of single listens.
We're just really lovable.
That's true.
We are lovable scamps.
All we need is to get to the top of the iTunes charts for one day. And
We've made it.
Also...
Then what was the other one you just came up with?
Teletheory. I like teletheory.
I kind of like that one, except for really the only theory we're going to present is that we're fucking weird.
Alright, so Tele.
Tell who?
Are we gonna, I mean, are you Tinky Winky or...
Oh.
Oh!
So I like tele something. I like the idea of incorporating like old school radio terms into it.
Okay. I'm not against that.
WHAT the what?
WHUH. WHUH. The what? Do what?
Oh, you've reached Ryan and Nick at
Yeah, our call sign is UHHHHHHHHHH. 97.3.
KWK, the
Actually,
Lawnmower
no,
Man.
this shit would be on AM, so it would be UHHHHHH 650.
No, this shit would be a numbers station. 5, 7, 16. The CAA, are you there?
The moral of the story is listen to Tanis, but back to the name of the podcast.
Okay.
If we go with old school radio theory, something in our intro has to be, hello everybody and welcome to this episode of the podcast.
The Red Sox are up 4 points.
And in other news, I can't find my bowler hat. I blame the Irish.
You're red-haired. I'm still looking for names. Just ramble, Ryan.
Robble, baba booey, random noises.
It's not live. We can edit this. It's fine.
I feel like it. Okay, it could be tele to represent some sort of radio,
right?
And then incorporate something to do with the delivery or food. Am I on something? Am I stepping down the right path? Are you smelling what I'm stepping in?
I like it.
Picking up what I'm laying down.
Teletrans? No, that sounds like a shipping company.
Exactly.
No, that doesn't sound good. That makes it sound like you used to be women.
Oh, so that sounds bad?
Well, hello!
No,
nice. No, yeah. Way to let your true feelings show.
Bad, but it sounds
misleading.
Yeah.
That's pretty much been the theme.
Misleading.
I think we're off to a good start.
Oh, this is great.
Okay.
Nowhere to go but up. Let's just say that.
So basically, I just Googled on my little computer. I Googled Latin suffixes. So we got tele. Let's staple a suffix onto that bad boy. We're ready to go.
So we'll have a prefix and a suffix, but no actual word in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm down.
Yeah. So tele we're working from, which will basically mean it's Latin.
It means a cross.
Yeah.
Or...
It's like a communication. I think,
okay.
Something like that.
Well, hang on. Let's just look up what tele means.
Wait, I think we just got it.
What?
There's a suffix. I'm not gonna tell you that yet.
To or at a distance or relating to television.
Oh yeah, that's perfect. We're probably gonna relate to television at some point. Have you seen the new Unfortunate Events series?
Oh yeah, Ben watched it in 2 days.
I haven't seen it yet.
Dude, fucking sit
yeah.
down and watch it.
I meant to during
I'm 2
this break today.
episodes
I watched it mainly out of the concern that Jim Carrey would not be outdone because I wanted it to happen. And
See, yeah,
it
his
happened.
count all off as a Jim Carrey.
Oh no,
character.
but it works.
Yeah,
But it's not the book.
Yeah,
Yeah, no.
he's
NPH was made to play fucking Count Olaf. Anyways, that being said, we'll wait till Nick finishes it. Well, and for you to finish it if you decide to join us.
I will. I just have to be in the mood, you know, to binge watch something.
That usually involves me with my ass planted on the sofa. My ass dictates my moods.
Okay. So, there's two suffixes that I like.
Okay.
So we got tele, which means, that stuff.
Is tele the prefix or the suffix?
It's the prefix.
Okay. I was like, it doesn't work as
a couple suffixes that I like.
As a suffix, Nutella.
Okay, so we have a suffix that means full of, as in frightful, careful, or helpful.
Teleful.
Which is full, teleful.
Okay.
Which I don't hate. It's kind of easier to spell than a lot of the other things we could make up a word for. One that means make, so as in beautify, fortify, or simplify, so telefy.
Okay.
One that means order, condition, quality, as in manhood, adulthood. So
telehood.
I like the second one the best out of these so far.
Telefy.
That one's the best.
Sit your ass down, I'm a telefy you a thing.
I'm looking for causing, making, like, manner, state.
Mumble.
Yeah.
Hope your mic is good.
You picking me up?
Hello.
I
love we have the Mac and the Wanna Mac.
We have one that means very small. Telecule.
It's Michelle Obama's birthday.
Happy birthday, Michelle.
Happy birthday, Michelle.
You're getting a very bad present and getting evicted.
Telade.
What?
Result of action, blockade.
Oh.
Telade. Telefy? Are we Telefy?
I kind of like telefy.
I don't hate him.
Because two are at a distance, tele could refer to the actual podcast and broadcasting through the air or through the internet, and it could also refer to us providing food at a distance because we don't like people getting close to us. Because they smell bad. And they're giving us money with their titty sweat on it.
I hate when that happens.
They titty sweat, though.
Ooh.
What?
Yeah, since we were both avid podcast listeners, what about telephyla?
Would that just mean a joy of having things go at a distance?
No, it's beloved, so it would be go at a distance, beloved. Fine, it's bad. It's bad.
No,
it's fine.
I don't dislike it. I'm just trying to come up with a thought behind it. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to ascribe meaning to the random conversation.
I feel nothing. Telitis.
That just sounds. Yeah, that sounds unpleasant. Is there a cream for that?
We are the cream for that.
Topical ointment.
We are the
Telefy, the topical ointment that cures your needs.
For telitis.
For telitis, yeah. Sorry.
Telentis.
That sounds like a gum disease.
Okay. Telefico. That sounds like.
It's a banking term.
Yeah, that'll give you a credit score. Teleformis.
That one sounds way more fancy than we are.
Telegenus.
I got nothing.
Telecola.
Nothing sates my thirst quite like a good telecola.
I have an idea for a company.
Wolf Cola?
Turn off the microphone.
You can't hear this!
Teleanus.
Tele what?
Anus.
Across the anus.
Across the anus. At the speed of light.
Sphincters at a distance.
So I think we are Telefy.
Okay.
I think that's what we've settled on.
Telefy works. Now, is it Telefy FM, Telefy Podcast, Telefy?
Telefy FM, I think.
Okay.
Because we can then use Telefy.
Telefy FM.
Telefy. How do you say this one?
It's like the game Slither.io, Slitherio. Who fucking knows?
Yeah, it's like the Augur game, like Augur.io.
Mm-hmm. Agario, yeah.
It's like you just imagine an old man. It's like, Donna! I don't understand. How do you say it? I'm scared.
Honey, put on your glasses.
Damn it, my denture. Donna!
I didn't lose 3 toes in Korea for this shit. 3 toes? You've only looked at 1 shoe, honey.
Okay, So yeah, we're Telefy.
Okay, well now can I get into the thing that I wanted to talk about?
I'm surprised you remember it.
No, because you got a fucking poster about it.
Oh, yeah.
We were talking about the new Blade Runner, and how most of the quotes are going to come from Harrison Ford.
Ryan, we're home.
Yeah. My thing is, with all of the remakes, sequels, whatever, like the reboots that they're doing now with Harrison Ford in them, they're going to have really bad Harrison Ford syndrome, where he doesn't give a shit about the movie, but he's still the main part of it, even though the movie is not really about him anymore.
It's an interesting point, because I feel like Harrison Ford is something we wanted to come back for so long.
And then when we got it...
Well, we got warnings.
Yeah.
Right? We got warnings.
Every interview, him trying to kill himself by crashing into a golf course.
That, even before that, do we not... Like, Indiana Jones, people were like, oh, Shia LaBeouf, gross, bad. And...
When Shia LaBeouf was not the worst part of that movie?
That's my point. We got warnings. Harrison Ford was not in any kind of shape.
His heart was not in it. Even less than it used to be.
I don't blame him. I would also just want to be done. Yeah. But, that being said, we were warned about this. We didn't listen, and here we are. Similar to another situation who we will be inaugurating soon.
Yes. President Ford.
President Ford.
The second. Sorry, President-elect Ford.
Yes. President Clinton we threw this in a time capsule 4 years ago.
The year is 2023. There is no hope. Term limits have been abolished. Emperor Trump and Emperor Trump and Vice Emperor Pence.
Vice Chancellor Pence. They've outlawed all forms of communication.
Rubs me the wrong way.
The new secretaries of whatever are president, like president of education.
Yeah, president.
Trump's like, I gotta be the emperor.
President of detention. President of war.
Detention.
President of hate.
President of detention. Yeah, that'd be a great role to have.
President of housing. No, sorry, president of mansioning.
Who lives in a house anymore? It's either a mansion or a two-story Cheerio box.
Okay. Fuck. It makes me sad about Blade Runner, though. I'm really hopeful for Blade Runner.
Oh, I'm hopeful too, but I'm also going into it. I have the same amount of hope and at the same time apprehension that I have after everything that came out after No Man's Sky.
Okay. Yeah. No, I understand that. No Man's Sky hit me in a really hard way too.
Yeah.
More I quietly just accepted nothing will ever live up to any of my expectations.
Exactly, because I was expecting this
I wasn't outraged.
No, I wasn't outraged either, but it was disappointing. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed.
No, I wasn't even disappointed with them or the game. I was disappointed with myself for expecting
that much. Exactly, because I went into it expecting this Carl Sagan Cosmos level of wonder.
I wanted to feel the patriotism of space travel.
Whereas it's like watching the NASA International Space Station camera. Sure, it's fun for 5 minutes, but after a while, it's the same shit for 24 hours.
Right. Yeah. I read somewhere that they wanted to make it look like a Bradbury novel. Or an Asimov novel, like iRobot. The way that's written, 60s sci-fi.
Okay, that would have been interesting.
Yeah.
An old pulp novel type of deal?
Yeah, and as far as the design of the two-dimensional design of things, I think they achieved that ish, but I feel like the memo didn't get passed on to the guys who were making the aliens.
The design is not the issue.
Right. I think
the game is beautifully designed.
Well,
to me, I think it's beautiful.
No,
my problem is that there's the plot is 3 steps and it's okay, go do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, I want a really fleshed out world involving that design.
See, because they tried to do with a gigantic game what Minecraft did with giant pixels. They tried to give you this gigantic world that you could do anything in, and then gave you 3 things to do. Yeah,
that was a rough one. Did you hear what happens when you get to the end of the universe?
No.
Do you want me to spoil it?
Sure, I'm not gonna play it.
Yeah, because exactly.
Wait, what are you spoiling?
It's a video game.
No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm good. Whatever. La 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 la.
So you get to the end of the game, right? You spend upwards of 40 hours getting to the end of the universe, right?
Okay. Is that the plot of the game? Is to get to the end of the universe?
Yeah, it's basically it.
Okay.
Yeah, and you have a path. You follow the path. You can go off the path and do nothing.
Mass Effect type stuff.
Right.
Anyways.
So you get to the end of the universe, and this is spoilers. Skip ahead I'm gonna say 5 minutes if you're actually very worried about spoiling No Man's Sky. So.
Sorry for spoiling a game that came out 6 months ago.
Yeah, spoilers. All right, and yeah, you get to the end of the game. You get to the center of the universe. You hear some sick snare drums. You hear some sick drumming, some real inspirational beats. And you're like, oh, it's finally here. You got that 40-hour beard, you know, when you've been playing Final Fantasy or something for 40 hours?
More like 40-hour scruff.
Yeah, it's just down here.
How fast is your facial hair
There's
grow?
some Cheetos stuck in it.
Like, is it all beard or like the pubes coming up to join
It's kind of like The Last Guardian, how the arrows get stuck in that like creature.
Well, thanks for ruining that one for me.
They're Cheetos in the beard.
Okay. Leavens.
Some people are shooting Cheetos at you.
You are comforting a small family of sparrows in your beard.
Right, exactly.
Anyways.
So that happens. You're in your spaceship. You're going through space.
Sick drumbeats.
Yeah. Close your eyes and imagine, if you will, going through space.
Mm-hmm.
Stars are going by you. You're going into hyperspace.
Okay.
And you come out of a jump. And you look at your map.
Okay.
And you're exactly where you just fucking started 40 hours ago. And that's what happens at the center of the universe. You go through a wormhole to the beginning of the game.
Does everything reset, or are you just back where you started? Like, is it a time skip, or just is it time, space, time?
Time.
Tame? The river Thames?
I have theories about time. No, as far as time goes in No Man's Sky, I mean...
It doesn't reset your just location and
right.
expectations?
Yeah. See, the beginning of the game starts with you rebuilding your spaceship that has crashed on this planet.
Yeah. And then you have to rebuild your spaceship again?
You crash your spaceship, you gotta rebuild that.
Now, do you crash on the exact same planet that you started on?
No. Different planet.
So...
Probably a shittier planet knowing that game.
Wow.
It's not what I expected. I expected some like hoity-toity
I read reviews. I read plot synopsis. I watched a couple of playthroughs of it, and yeah, no, I'm suddenly glad that I didn't actually buy it.
Yeah, because it looks kind of appealing from the onset.
Oh yeah, no, like in the development cycle, man,
right.
I had like nerd boner going on, but then it was like
the noner, as we know.
the noner, yes,
yeah.
the
no.
Oh nay.
Yeah, so that was really disappointing.
But take that and take the lesson that we learned from that, which is don't hype things up as much as we want to. Don't expect greatness out of everything.
Which is
and
why
apply that to
Blade Runner. Full circle. And spoilers are over, by the way, if you're there.
Yeah. Welcome back.
Hello.
For those who missed it, I am now naked as well.
Yeah. We're both just butt-ass naked, just enjoying the day in the sun. We're out in the patio right now. There's some birds flying by. Hello, little friend.
No, I had a similar issue with Force Awakens. I liked the movie.
Now, have you seen
Rogue
One?
Not get me wrong. No, I haven't yet.
Okay, I feel like it's important to have that for comparison alongside Force Awakens.
No, I will be seeing Rogue One at some point.
All right.
My problem with The Force Awakens is a standalone point in that it is a damn near shot-for-shot remake of fucking Episode 4. Anyways.
Yes. No, I understand what you're saying, and I've heard that criticism before of it. And
Still a good movie.
Yeah.
But it's because it's based on a good movie.
No, yeah, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I like it.
I still watch it. I still enjoy it, but that's my problem with it.
Yeah, the main problem I had with Force Awakens, I guess, was just how popcorny it felt, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It felt less Star Warsy.
Going back to Bradbury, I needed it to feel more like 60s science fiction.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted
a space opera, like it originally was.
I mean, yeah.
But if they'd made a space opera, we would have been disappointed.
Yeah, but I think we're still going to see a lot of variety in that series.
I'm sure we will.
Now,
is Abrams directing 8?
No, Abrams is out.
Okay.
I think he might be producing.
Who did they bring in, Dina?
8 is...
Because I know they brought in, what was it, Justin Lin for Rogue One? The guy who directed one of the Fast and Furious?
No, wait. Because that Rogue One's director changed a couple times.
Okay.
Star Wars directors. Because I know Episode 8, I think, is Ryan... Yeah, it's Ryan Johnson, who directed Looper.
Okay.
Yeah, it was Gareth Edwards who directed Rogue One.
Okay, alright.
Yeah, and Gareth Edwards directed Godzilla, Monsters.
Okay.
Those are his claims to fame. And Ryan Johnson, like I said, Looper.
Okay.
And J.J. Abrams is fine, I guess.
Hope you like lens flares. Our eyes don't work like that, JJ.
My eyes. Is it a lightsaber? I don't understand. All right.
He's so angsty.
Yeah, I'm hoping the Star Wars movies turn out to be really good.
I have nothing but a mixture of hope and apprehension.
No, I understand. I'm really worried about all the series that I love getting rebooted.
Yeah.
Twin Peaks is in May.
Yeah, I heard about that. I haven't seen the original. I need to.
You do, yeah. It's 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's actually very much like Tannis.
Yeah, it's one of the things I was because I found that podcast through another one, and they were like, if you enjoy Twin Peaks, you'll enjoy this, and I was like, well, I've never seen it, but Nick enjoys it, so what the fuck?
Yeah, it's okay. It's a lot like Tannis. It's really good.
Okay.
So kids, if you like Twin Peaks, you should check out that Tannis.
That we've only mentioned once or twice.
Yes, that we've only we named our podcast after it. Tannis 2.
The Electric Boogaloo.
Yes, yes.
Tannis
yes,
2, the
yes,
Tannising.
Tannis 2, the Squeakle.
Tannis 3, Chipwrecked.
Tannis 2, Lawnmower Man.
No, see, actually, it's Tannis 3 because we're so good, we skipped right over Tannis 2. It was so intense.
Because we're in Tannis.
Exactly.
I am Tannis.
What is Tannis? Tannis is a noun. I Tannis, you Tannis, we Tannis.
Can we just discuss Baba Yaga?
Other than the fact that he says Baba Yaga?
Baba Yaga.
He mispronounces it. Fucking Canadians.
They're very, very Canadian.
Oh,
I don't care if they're actually from Seattle.
I love it because for the first 6 episodes, he speaks... it's so painfully obvious that he's Canadian. He's like, it's about time we go back, and I'm going to go talk to them. Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, and then he plays into the Canadian stereotype of being way too nice because Meerkat walks over him. Yeah. But, and in the 5th episode or 6th episode, he's like, and I'm Canadian, for those of you who hadn't put it together, and it's just like, no shit!
Yeah. I love that guy, though.
Although he does say Pacific Northwest, so he doesn't exactly say explicitly that he's American.
The Puget sound.
Puget. Or if you're British, the Peugeot.
The Peugeot. If you're French, the Peugeot song. No, I'm really enjoying Tannis. I think it's good. Twin Peaks you should watch. They released a new teaser. It's supposed to be out in May. I love... Showtime has been, shilling... they haven't really talked about Twin Peaks because they're the ones who put it together and they're going to be releasing it. They haven't really talked about it a lot. And when they have talked about it, it's very much like, we've seen it. David has some unique ideas.
I feel like every conversation about David Lynch goes that way.
Did you see his ALS Ice Bucket Challenge?
No, I missed that one.
You have to... Let me describe another internet video to you.
David Lynch.
Yeah.
Ice Bucket.
We're just gonna... It's not copywritten, so we can play it on the air.
Fair use, motherfucker.
We get a call.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm taking the challenge.
Why is he holding a trumpet?
The first one is from Laura Dern, and she wants me to get the ice bucket, but with iced coffee. This is a double shot of espresso. Put it in the bucket. I'm going to play Somewhere Over the Rainbow, and try to anyway.
Direct your air.
The second bucket is for Justin Thoreau.
Zero reaction.
And thank you so much, Justin. Now, I would like to nominate for the Ice Bucket Challenge, Vladimir Putin. Thank you very much.
And that's why the world should really appreciate David Lynch more, and why he's just he's an American
unique
hero.
person.
He's an American hero, really.
God, I played trumpet for 10 years, and that video hurt me.
Oh. I was surprised you could tell it was a trumpet from down there. It was like,
you play it for 10 years, you learn what it looks like.
That's fair. Yeah, it's exactly,
you're like, what is that? It looks strangely familiar.
It's a mouthpiece and some kind of pipe. What if it was just electrical pipe? He just held it up as a mouthpiece and pipe.
No. He never actually picks up the trumpet. He's just holding it. It's just there to draw your attention.
Oh.
It says something about the male gaze or some shit like that because it's David Lynch.
And now I nominate Vladimir Putin.
Question is, did Putin do it, or is he a bitch?
I think Sylvester Stallone would have picked up the tab on that one.
Actually, I feel like Steven Seagal would have done
it. Steven Seagal, you're right.
Yeah.
I misspoke.
With his fat ass and his ponytail.
Yeah, for some reason I think Sly Stone?
Sly Stone.
Sly Stone. No, I always think of like Sly, and I'm like, that dude whose name's Sly must have a ponytail.
Yeah.
I don't go Steven Seagal. I haven't heard Steven Seagal's name in a long time, actually, to be honest.
I don't think he's heard his name in a long time either.
Well, no, it's mostly in Russian, so it's a completely different pronunciation.
Something to do with a seagull? People making random squawks? It's very confusing.
What did you say? Did you hear Nicolas Cage is going to be playing Ronald Reagan?
No, I missed this one.
Trickle down economics.
Now, is he going to have his standard Nick Cage freakout moment? Is he going to punch a lady at the bottom of the stairs?
Now listen, Nancy.
You can't see ghosts!
I've been shot!
No, he actually just gets back up and walks up to... God, what the hell was his name? Hinckley. He walks up to Hinckley. He's like, "You just gonna try to shoot me, man? You think it's cool?"
He's wearing the jacket from the beginning of Snake Eyes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
He just has a vampire's kiss freak out where he just starts randomly shouting the alphabet. Mm-hmm. You've seen that movie, right?
Vampire's Kiss?
Yes. He thinks he's turning into a vampire.
Wait, is that the plot of the movie?
Yes, that is the plot of the movie. He buys $3 fake teeth because he can't afford the $60 fake teeth that look nice, even though he's shown as rich in the beginning of the movie. And goes around New York screaming, "I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire!" And no one's looking at him because it's New York. Yeah, and it's just that. But there's a scene where somebody misfiles something in the publishing office where he works.
He's like dead or something?
No, he's alive.
Okay.
He's very much alive. Yeah, no, you're getting it.
Oh.
He thinks he's becoming a vampire. So somebody misfiles this random file, and he's like, "I never misfiled anything in my life. Yeah. You look, you go in the alphabet. A, B, C." He goes through the entire alphabet.
Oh, God. Jumping off of that, it seems that Mr. Cage is reportedly worried the Ronald Reagan role would damage his reputation.
That's what's going to damage it.
Yeah, I believe...
Not his alleged Superman role.
Oh, remember that hard plastic bodysuit?
Uh-huh. And that glorious Con Air hair?
Fuck. We almost had that.
My mom has the biggest crush on Nick Cage. It's bad.
Who doesn't have a crush on him?
I mean, I could start a list. Myself being at the top.
All right.
Conflicting reports?
Jumping off of that. Well, segue. Will Ferrell is also apparently worried that the role will damage his reputation, but...
Of Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, he's reportedly abandoned it. But it's supposed to be a really sad movie about these comedians undergoing Alzheimer's.
Where does Ronald Reagan come into this?
Alzheimer's.
Okay.
He went insane.
Okay.
Will Ferrell is wrong.
I'm just trying to figure out who decided that approaching Will Ferrell for the role of Ronald Reagan was a good idea.
I have a feeling it was the same people who asked Mr. Cage.
I mean, that's probably true, but I don't know who it was and what they were on, and if there was a sound of a rubber band involved.
They threw some spaghetti at a wall and it stuck. What can I say?
They looked up and the noodle said Nick Cage.
Right underneath it, somehow it's spelled out "send nudes."
They looked to each other and said, "That's how we'll get him." All right.
Got an email? This is an unlisted email.
Oh.
Yeah.
No. So I've actually heard talk of Will Ferrell playing a. Remember the movie Dodgeball?
Yes.
I've heard.
Vince Vaughn looking sad. Yeah.
Vince Vaughn looking sad. Ben Stiller with the inflatable penis. So Will Ferrell has been tapped to play a coach in the style of Dodgeball.
Okay. Now, are we talking like wheelchair throwing wrench at people coach?
No, more of like very intense, whereas the athletic
all right.
has a headband, catch the sweat.
Okay.
For the sport he is coaching, which is wait for it.
Pause for effect.
Major League Gaming.
Major League Gaming.
Yes. How do you feel about that?
I feel like because it's Will Ferrell, we all know exactly what to expect.
Yeah, I can see it in my head.
It's like Harrison Ford. You know exactly what you're getting out of it going into it.
Well, I think Harry's a little bit more random than that.
A little bit, but not by much.
I think he's unpredictable, at least. You know.
He's unpredictable off camera.
You know, like that time he crashed a plane?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Giving us that warning sign.
You can predict anything. I was thinking about getting my pilot's license.
Speaking of segues.
No, seriously. I mean, as you know, I am blind in one eye. So I'm thinking about how I'm going to get through the pilot's exam.
Fake it?
Yeah. Let me tell you a story about a Frenchman named Laurent.
Oh, Jesus. Fucking
Now, Laurent is my mother's father. All right.
Disclaimer, I've heard this story.
Laurent is my mother's father.
Also known as your grandfather.
In some circles. So, he is what's known as a pilot. Though he's also legally blind. Now, this is interesting.
He's French, right?
He is French. He refuses to speak it, but he has a thick accent. Not thick accent. Alright, so certain words, thick accent. Other words, he's fine. He's been living in Ohio for so long, he's fine. He's doing what Frenchmen do, which is, at the end of the war, they go and buy a farm, they live on that farm.
And pretend not to be French.
Yeah, no, these French they speak now, it's slang.
French in relation, like the French in relation to Europe are like Americans in relation to North America. When we're in North America, oh yeah, we'll brag about it being American all day long. We go to Europe, we are Canadian.
And we are Canadian.
Word.
Huh? Word.
Midway over like the Atlantic, Maple Leafs up.
Yep. Roll them up.
Yeah, a boot, sorry.
Let me get this right. They got like a tape that says how to speak Canadian.
Yeah, and then they have another tape that says Tannis. Oh god.
But anyways, a blind pilot.
Yeah, a blind pilot. He flew a passenger aircraft
Into the ground.
Well, he didn't fly the Concorde. I always wished he had flown the Concorde. I want to fly the Concorde myself.
You want to take part in the flight of the Concorde?
Yeah, well. Segue. Jermaine Clement's birthday was recently. No, it was actually, but I wish that the Concordes were still in service so badly. Like, I wish that we were still flying at supersonic speed.
They're actually developing a plane that does that. It just goes super, super fucking high, so it doesn't affect the jet stream.
I would appreciate that.
It's essentially space travel.
I wish we were as committed to going hard and fast with science, like driving 90 miles an hour on like an interstate, just fucking going with science. Flames shooting out of like the fucking back.
When was the last time we set a speed record? Other than that asshole jumping out of a fucking satellite.
President Reagan? Yes. Why don't we have an Autobahn? Well, I don't know. We're getting an Autobahn.
No. Nancy says it won't work.
Yeah. God, I would just...
She spoke to James Dean. Well...
You're just tearing me apart! Just hitting the fucking desk.
Going back to your blind pilot joke.
The blind pilot.
Blind pilot.
The blind pilot. It's a good name for a podcast.
Give the name of this episode. It's the pilot episode.
The blind pilot. Oh, it is the pilot episode.
Uh-huh.
The blind pilot episode.
There you go.
There we go.
We didn't know we were getting into.
You heard it here, kids.
It's like, have you ever seen the movie Space Cowboys?
Space Cowboys. Yes, actually.
The scene where they're in the doctor's office doing the reading chart and he just memorizes it even though he can't see shit.
Yeah.
That's how you'll get through your pilot's license. Do it with the good eye first.
Right.
Memorize it.
Yeah.
Blind.
And that stems from me having to drive to Atlanta more often than I was and thinking that, I could just fly. Just fly to Atlanta.
Yes. Totally.
Land on the freeway. That's what they're built for,
No, see, getting your pilot's license, more than just a test. Just
really?
so you know.
I thought it was
it's
SAT
not.
situation.
No. It's not like purchasing or getting a weapons carry license in the state of Georgia. It's not simply sign your name, don't even pass the test.
No, I have
go.
3 of those. 3 different names.
Where was I going with this?
There's more involved.
No, our former coworker Lee.
Does he have a pilot's license?
Was going for it.
But
then he found out it's incredibly expensive because you either have to own a plane or you have to rent a plane and get I think it's 500 or 1,000 training hours.
And you have to, even if you rent it, you have to pay for the gas.
They have to be logged, yeah.
Okay.
And you have to pay for the So you have to pay out the ass for it.
Right.
And then and at that point you've only got a private plane license. You can't have passengers.
Yeah.
Anything like that. And to get each consecutive license after that, you have to have infinitely sequentially large numbers of hours flying. Right. And if you don't own a plane, by the time you get that license, you will have spent enough money on hours in that plane to get a plane.
If we hold on,
get a hang glider.
Business idea. We're back to this.
Oh, okay. Turn off the podcast.
Turn off the microphone. So copyright Nickhouse Industries. What if, all right, we get a string of people to apply for a pilot's license?
Or a string.
Yeah. Right. What if we get a string?
What if we take a string?
String? What the fuck? All right, we're in.
Anyways, a string of people.
$7 million. We get a string of people who are either committed, can afford, or already have a pilot's license. Now, we're not talking like the hoity-toity, you can fly people in your plane pilot's license. We're talking just you can fly yourself.
You could fly like a large cat in your plane.
Basically. Exactly.
It's about the extent of your passenger ability.
And we start, all right, hear me out. It's an app, right?
Lyft.
It's already taken.
Fuck.
I was going to say, Flooper. Flying Ubers. And what you do is you pick up people who, these people make a lot of money, all right? They're not interested in flying in a plane with other people.
They're the executive type?
They're the executive type.
With a fan for propellers?
Right. So these are people you can just pick up. They're just sitting on the tarmac. These are these kind of people. They're like a Trump without the austerity.
They just yell taxi really fucking loud and you circle down and pick them up.
Fluber! Plane lands, Robin Williams gets out. So,
no, he's in a flying car, actually. Anyways.
No, it is a flying car. There's flubber.
Mm-hmm.
Keeps it afloat.
Mm-hmm.
So, these people get in the plane and you take them wherever they want to go. It's a fleet of Cessnas. A Flessnas.
I have a few questions.
We call it Bearcat Aeronautics.
I have a few more questions. Uber presents a slightly cheaper alternative to taxis, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Where in this business model does the word cheaper come in?
See,
because you're operating at a loss unless you're charging them for at least fuel.
Yeah, we're charging them for fuel. We're charging them for convenience and snacks.
Snacks.
What snacks?
And the aux cord. Hand me the aux cord. $5. Motherfucking.
It's like Spirit Airways, only Bearcat Aeronautics.
Bearcat Aeronautics.
All right, so you get inside the Cessna.
Get in the Puma.
Imagine this. You get inside the Cessna. What do you see?
The inside of an airplane.
Good guess.
I thought so too.
There's lots of exposed piping. All right. There's
probably an air freshener.
Yeah. There's the exterior of the airplane, which is some kind of a skin. I haven't figured it out yet. I'm designing the planes right now.
I'm guessing duct tape right now, but more testing is needed.
Right now. This thing is a little more than a glider. There's one seat in the back and there's one seat in the front.
And a Kenmore washing machine engine in the front. We built these planes, actually.
They're over-under. You got over-under. You have to dry in the washer.
You actually have to get out and crank it like a 1920s Model T.
That's actually where the power for the plane comes from. Is the washer and dryer setup?
Really, I thought
it's
it
like
was
an engine.
I thought it was a hamster on a wheel. But go on.
Well, you get it going and it has that turning motion. You get the tumble cycle. Yeah, the tumble cycle is where you just got to be already in the air. You can glide.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So you get in the plane. What do you see? You see Jeb. Jeb's flying the plane. You don't know Jeb. He doesn't know you. He's flying the plane.
He lost the election. He's flying planes now.
He's got a trucker hat on and blinders. Blinders, why? Because we don't want them to know who's in the plane. Very important. They can't know.
Because these are high-profile business types.
No, because of this, I thought of just like secluding the pilot in a room that was completely black. They have no light at all. Realized there were some issues with that.
Completely soundproof and lightproof. Nothing can go wrong.
And, well, at that point, I thought it was a way more high-class endeavor because the passenger would be in the front. You get windows.
Yes, they die first.
No, you got windows. Beautiful windows. And you could put the snacks on the dashboard. Do planes have dashboards? Doesn't matter. This one does. Yeah,
it's a small vending machine.
Yeah. What snacks, you ask? Well, I'm thinking fruit snacks. Not peanuts. I feel like that's
done to death.
Yeah, that's just sad at this point.
Likes peanuts.
People need to get off their high horse and eat peanuts. We also have those TV dinners with the penguin mascot.
No. We can't do that. They have to be all off-brand.
Oh, you're right.
Because you're already operating at a loss.
No, Bearcat Foods.
Bearcat Foods. So not only are we starting an airplane Uber service named which is tentatively Fluber, we are starting an airplane snack food distribution and production.
Don't forget, we're building the airplanes too, which is Bearcat Aeronautics.
And we are starting an aeronautics construction company. So 3 separate companies for one business.
Well, one of them will be easier than the other. I don't know anything about making food, but Kayla can help us with that. And
airplanes, I mean, I can build those all day long, so long as they involve mass amounts of folding paper. That's it.
No, like I said, you can build just about anything with a couple of sheets of plywood and some cinder blocks.
And hopes and dreams.
And you're good to go.
My thought is, all you need to do is open up an oil refinery, and you have an entire organization for your plane. You don't have to outsource to anyone.
That's a good point. So yeah, I think we have a really sound business strategy here.
Nothing can go wrong. Yeah. I have $5 to invest. Let me put it in my Acorn app. Give me a week. I'll have $5.30 in it.
That Acorn app is something else. I'm up 17 cents.
It's really good at making you either very happy or disappointing you over very small amounts of money.
Right. But then you go to your performance and it says plus however much percent. It's like,
when you look at it at a percentage basis, it's great. But when you look at it at how many actual cents it is, you're just like...
Yeah, but then I realize, hey, I can cash this out whenever I need to. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's better than a regular broker.
Yeah, when they charge their fee.
Plus, I don't want to call Morty right now. Morty's busy. He's with his family. I can't call him. The stock market's closed. I can't get in contact with that man.
They're sitting Shiva right now. I can't bother
them. Yeah.
Morty's Jewish.
The end of Trading Spaces already took place. Why has Morty got to be Jewish?
Because his name is Morty, and he's an investment banker. You set this up.
Yeah, no, I didn't I? Imagine Pierce Brosnan.
He's being played by.
His last name's Larry.
He's being played by Annie Hall's director guy.
Woody Allen.
Yeah, he's being played by Woody Allen.
Hey, this is the broker for Bearcat Industries. I just want to. We're supposed to get in contact with
Mr. Allen, is that you? No, click.
Is this the Wolf of Wall Street? Yeah, I just want to tell you some things.
I can't believe that movie was almost a murder mystery, but that's a story for another podcast.
I love Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah, no, this is basically the first episode of Telefy FM.
Woo!
Yeah, this is it.
Telefy FM, let's go.
Yeah, and you can find us on. Right now we're doing SoundCloud, YouTube, and iTunes as soon as we can get up and running.
Yes.
iTunes takes a little while.
We'll probably set up either a Twitter or a Facebook.
That's fine. Yeah.
Like a contact type of deal. Either that or just an email or some shit like that.
We'll see where it goes.
Yeah. This goes for more than 3 episodes.
Yeah. No, this one was, I think we did
all right.
Pretty good.
That's pretty good.
For a first episode, it's all right. There's a lot of worse first episodes.
Side note, speaking of 3 episodes worth of podcast, I want to see how many defunct or now defunct Facebook pages there are for podcasts that almost were.
Right. I wish there was a way to search on Facebook. Ends with podcast. Just goes
dash podcast.
Podcast the podcast. Went for 2 episodes. Silence the podcast.
Sure, it exists. So, alrighty. Well, considering that we're gonna have to tell you about us to find this podcast because nobody's searching for us, you can find us in town.
Yeah, you can find us around town. I like to sit on the streets. We are naked outside in the patio right now.
But we are available. We will be available through a Facebook or a Twitter or some sort, which we will post eventually.
Yeah, and we'll be reachable through some kind of email.
Yeah, we'll set up something.
Yeah.
So.
Also, P.O. Box at...
Call Pennsylvania 6300.
You know, that might be great, getting a P.O. Box. Anyway, these are things we can talk about off the air. So,
okay.
That's Telefy.
That's about it.
Have a week.
Telefy.